the Green Ranger. What comes to your mind when I say it? There's a lot more than just the guy with the shield when it comes to it, and yet somehow when I say Green Ranger, they seem a little bit more, a little bit, because the Green Ranger, the original Tommy. But there are a lot of amazing Green Rangers out there, from serious to silly. I'm going to talk about people who train their whole lives and, didn't even want to be a Ranger in the first place. There are so many great stories to go with Green Rangers, and I wanted to take today, which is St. Patrick's Day, the day this is being posted. If it's not, I hope you're having a great day anyway. But I think it's high time I go ahead and count down my top 10 favorite Green Rangers. Let's get it. Hey, I'm Ranger Liz. If you want to find out more about me, check out Twitter and all the links below. I love Power Rangers, but let's celebrate this interesting, Americanized, weird holiday. I like St. Patrick's Day. In theory, I'm Irish. I'm just far, far back, and I'm wearing the shirt. It's from Green Day. It says "Kiss Me, I'm Punk." It's from, I think, the year 2000. I feel old. Let's talk about an older series. We're going to start with number 10. Let's talk about Joel. Joel was a very great, every Green Ranger. I love all the Rangers, don't get me wrong. But that Sky Cowboy absolutely won my heart. His smile, his charm, and just the way he went about his day-to-day. I really liked Joel. And hey, he ended up with Miss Fairweather at the end, but is still a Ranger and saving the day. And I know he's definitely, don't forget, comment down below who was your favorite Green Ranger. Maybe give me your top 3, top 5 even. And don't downvote people who you disagree with. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions, so don't dislike just because you disagree. Moving on to number 9, we're going to talk about Hyperforce Green. Now this one, if you're not familiar with Hyperforce, you're like, I don't know who this guy is. Hyperforce Green, Joe Shi. He was originally the Time Force Silver Ranger. I know, now I'm really going to throw you guys off, aren't I? Ends up saving the day, gets powers from Jen Scott's Time Force Pink herself to become the Green Hyperforce Ranger, standing the final battle. And well, we don't know if they win or lose. They actually kind of lost, and then the story ended, and then we didn't get any more story. But Joe Shi is really awesome, and if you ever want to check out Hyperforce, I really, really recommend it. Hyper RPG, Twitch, check them out on Twitch. Just search Hyperforce. I'm sure you will find it. Before I get to number 8, I do want to clarify something real quick. Things that I'm not including like Master Fan. I'm not including Camille. Some of the people you're like, well, they're kind of Green Rangers. I'm not really including any of those. And that also includes the brand new Green Ranger in the comic books. When this is being filmed, it's literally Tuesday, 10:10 p.m. It's a little kind of close to St. Patrick's Day. As when this is, it's still kind of, I don't want to say spoiler, but I personally haven't read it. So I haven't read the storyline, and I can't really give him a fair assessment. So with that, he definitely was not going to be included in the list. And no, I'm not going to say who he is. With number 8, very great, we're going to talk about Trip. Trip was a great Green Ranger. He created Circuit. He kept a lot of stuff going for Power Rangers Time Force. I don't even know. I didn't personally think Trip was going to rate as high as he did on my own list. Let me know what you think. But I think once I started reading a little bit more about him, I mean, he had to overcome a lot. Green hair, crystal on his head, and yet was still calm. Again, tech guy of the season. Had a really, really huge heart. So I've got to give my number 8 to Trip from Power Rangers Time Force. Number 7 is pretty special because it is Cam from Ninja Storm. Cam had a great storyline. If you were interested in finding out more about him, he had to go back to the past. His dad turned into a guinea pig. He wasn't even allowed to try to be a ninja, but he was still, I'm gonna be a ninja anyway, and had to step in, save the day, save the past, save the current. He was a really, really awesome Green Ranger. And then he had this whole cyber cam thing, which was this like fun, cool, like it was a product of its time. Okay? It was a product of its time. So we let that go, just like we do a lot with Ninja Storm. We let a lot of the lingo go because that's just what it was at the time. But I really enjoyed him, and then his character continued on in the comic books if you're interested, because his character was on Beyond the Grid after the big everything was shattered grid. Yeah, he goes off into he goes beyond the grid, and he has hijinks and adventures. So if you want to learn even more about his character, go check him out in the comics or Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Ranger form. Wait. Yeah. Right? Let's get this moving along with number 6, and we have to talk about, hey, name's Xander. That was probably a really bad Australian accent, but you know what? That's fine. We're going to talk about Plan Xander. I just really like Xander. This is my list. Tell me your list below. I just love the way he tried to talk with people and kind of smooth things out without having to be the one to fight. Definitely had to learn his lesson a few times with he tried to get rid of the wart or whatever on his nose and ends up turning into a tree. Right, but overall, I just really loved his character and how much he grew from the beginning to the end of this season, learning way more about teamwork, less about all Plan Xander, and more about Plan Mystic Force. Mr. Force, it's a slept-on season, I'm telling you. I tell you to go watch it on Netflix, but they're a whole bunch of poo-poo heads. I've been around kids too long. I say bad cuss words. Before we get to number 5, I've got to have a special shout out to Psycho Green. Why haven't I mentioned him before or after this? Because I unfortunately haven't really read a lot about him. After reaching out, the reason I'm making this video is because I posted on Tuesday, hey, who are your favorite Green Rangers? And you guys loved it. And I'm like, hey, maybe I should do a countdown. That'd be kind of fun. So here I am, and a bunch of people said Psycho Green was one of their top 3 favorite Green Rangers. I unfortunately haven't read enough about him to really be able to include him in this list. But what I have read, he's amazing. But I didn't want to toss him in at like number 10 or whatever without having his full story. So had to cut him out. Let's get though to this other evil person, and that's number 5, and that is Evil Rita Repulsa from the 2017 movie. She creeped the crap out of me. Oh my gosh, what did you guys... I mean, seeing her, the first time seeing her in movie theaters, and she was like, I want gold, and like ripping that dude's teeth out. This was creeping me out, dude, and I loved it. Just her total insanity and Goldar and the Zeo Crystal, and I just wish... I mean, one, I wish we got more during the movie, but I wish we would get a sequel because I know we would have learned more about Rita and why she was wanting the Zeo Crystal. But it was great, man. Elizabeth Banks, just, if that's where they were going with Rita, she knocked it out of the park, and I loved it. It creeped me out, it intrigued me all at the same time, and I overall just really enjoyed it. She wasn't Tommy. She was Rita, her own Green Ranger, and she is number 5 on the list. But if she's number 5 and you saw on Twitter who is my number 3, you gotta know I'm giving my number 4 love to Tommy Oliver, the OG Green Ranger. Even though he had a very short arc, it was ridiculously profound. It affected all of his story, and he ended up going on to doing other roles. So if we were counting down best Red Rangers, best White Rangers, or whatever, yeah, he probably would be higher up. But for a Green Ranger, I'm gonna keep him around number 4. The selflessness, the giving everything he had, losing his powers pretty much for the final time, trying to get the power coins back from Goldar. That was one of those episodes that I would rewatch again and again as a kid, where Tommy had to get his powers back one more time from Zordon just to get them back from Goldar. And that just kind of cemented this complete selflessness and give everything for the team. Couldn't ask for more for a Green Ranger. Plus, he started it all, and he somehow, to me, still looked cool in a foam shield. I don't know. Shit's different in the 90s. Now on to my top 3. I said my top 3 on Twitter, but it's time that I actually put a ranking to them. This was tough. I didn't anticipate my Green Ranger list to be as tough as it was. But number 3, it's Bridge. SPD Green Bridge. I feel bad that I had to give him number 3, but I love my buttery boy. Just the way he approaches everything. He is this comedic relief and yet a sense of grounding and a calmness to the team. His aura stuff that he has to read. He was the first one to give us that tip off that something with A-Squad was not quite right. Him being upside down in order to think, and again, have I said, buttery. Very, very buttery. He did his own thing. I loved it, and he was just such a great, I want to say like Ranger, but he was also really great outside of being a Ranger. It was Bridge that really, really stuck to you. Sometimes not what happened in the suit, but the character itself of Bridge. Absolutely loved him, but he's got to be number 3. I'm just as surprised as you with where this list ended up going, but this is just how it is tonight. Number 2, I had to give to Adam. He pulled double duty, guys. He was Zeo Green and he was Turbo Green, and he did a great job. He was MMPR Black for a while, and he came in with this sense of calmness and zen, and just when he was around, you felt genuinely happy, comforted. I don't know, but he was just this heart of the team and whatever team he was in, and the fact that he did 2 stints as Green. Once he got out of it, was the source footage, it was whatever. Once he hit Zeo Green, which these are in, by the way. I just got mine in like a week ago. Once he hit Zeo Green, he just became more of himself. Loved him, and yeah, all my love. Adam, fantastic Green Ranger times 2, but he was number 2. So who is number 1? Y'all might kill me for this. I'm giving my number 1 top favorite Green Ranger to watch, Ziggy, for Power Rangers RPM. Why? His character arc. Every episode, you're like, what is going on with Ziggy? He was in the mob. He stole from the mob. He went on the run, and yet he tried to come back into the city. He didn't want to be a Ranger. He specifically did not want to be a Ranger, and yet he did to save it from evil's hands. It was whatever you do, don't let bad guys get a hold of this. And he did it, and he did it the best he could, but his comedic relief, the timing, the deadpanness with him and Dr. K, oh my god, and yes, I know they were married, but they've since divorced. It was amazing, and if I had to just, you want to watch a Green Ranger storyline again and again, I have got to give it up to Ziggy. The guy who seems like the most selfish dude in the universe, and yet is so selfless. And, I mean, with the kids, the radiation, like, he is an absolutely amazing Green Ranger. And if you haven't given him a look, please do so. Not just on St. Patrick's Day, but every day. Because I don't know what day you are watching this. But if you enjoy Power Ranger stuff, I also do the Ranger Weekend Review. It's every Friday. Check it out. We do it live now, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Break down everything that happened in the world of Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Ultraman, all the news, toy releases, stuff like that. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please share it with your friends, let them know, leave a like, comment who are your favorite Green Rangers. And whew, Ziggy, I love you. I feel bad. I feel some of them looking at me. It's not good. I'm really glad Adam's right there. Alright. If I haven't told you today I love you and you're awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you like these top 10 lists, let me know. Maybe I'll do more. Toodles!